Man, it has been a hot minute since I've made some videos. It's been a hot minute since Shatter Veil came out. And, you know, it's been a combination of things from, you know, my life being busy to becoming a homeowner to me trying to form an opinion on the Shatter Veil. And for the longest time, I just couldn't feel something with this map when it first came out. You know, as I kept playing it, it's like the map grew on me, and I think the map's fine. I think it's good, but I think the reason why I struggled with it for a while is that it's just a bunch of reheated nachos, like in terms of ideas. And I'm going to explain that throughout this video, through the talking points and the bullet points I'm going through. You know, to kick it off, you know, the Shatter Veil had like the same usual boring pre-release hype that Call of Duty Zombies does now. Back in the old days when the developers would like hype up a map pack release and they would talk about the map. Now it's just a random picture with story text that I don't really care about. It doesn't really make me hype for the story in any way. It's just screenshots with like, yeah, the Burger King mascot was here one time. But you know, this is the third zombie map in the DLC season. So the Shatter Veil released on April 3rd or the 2nd. I don't know. It's been about over 2 months, almost 3 months since this map came out. And of course, Treyarch in Treyarch fashion, hyping it up, saying, yeah, there's not going to be no enemy spam or like no reuse enemies. Like, yeah, no amalgams. Yeah, no abominations. All jokes aside, before you go, actually, I have came around to the map. It has grown on me, but like I said a little bit ago, I feel like the map has just a bunch of reheated ideas they've done before. And, you know, what do I really mean by that? I've said that like twice already, but what do I mean by that? Well, let's run it down. By reheated ideas, we got the Ray Gun Mark II, which is fine and dandy, but the problem is the Ray Gun Mark II is also the wonder weapons of the map, which is the Ray Gun Mark II variants. We've seen this before, and it wasn't even that original in the first place. The enemies are reheated ideas, so we got the Disciple again. And the toxic zombies kind of feel new, but at the same time, it feels like we've seen them before. The Easter egg quests nowadays just seem like they largely center around getting the map's wonder weapon, and that's where the quest kind of ends. Then we're also bringing back the Wunderwaffe DG2 yet again, when it's been in the last 2 previous zombie entries. And we're also reheating ideas in terms of perks because we brought back double tap. I will get into more on that later because that's the least offensive thing about this whole list. Now, does any of this make the map bad? No, it really doesn't. I think the map is great despite all of this, and I still think the map is pretty strong despite all of this. The strongest aspect of this map is the fact that it has so much depth to it. There's so many secret rooms to explore. It almost feels like a classic zombies experience. And in some ways, it just kind of feels like Resident Evil. The best part about it is you could still play this map casually and ignore all of this, and it doesn't affect the gameplay or anything at all. But in doing so, you're just missing out so much content. I feel like I wish Modern Zombies had more of this. I hope this is seen more in the final map by like tenfold, and I hope they carry it on with Black Ops 7. Like, this is like the best aspect of this map, and it infinitely adds more replay value to the map, and it just feels rewarding all around. Now onto the reheated ideas of Shattervale. It's the reheated enemies, and the disciple is back, except this time he's an elder disciple, so better respect your fucking elders. You know, he's an unk now. The disciple was first seen in Black Ops Cold War, ironically enough, in that game's DLC3, and then it was seen again in Modern Warfare Zombies. And now here we are again in Black Ops 6, except this time he looks a little fucking cooler. He is decked out, and I love the redesign of the elder disciple. I guess these tweets I'm bringing up from Stanley557, I feel like this explains it, or this tweet from Random. I feel like these tweets alone explain what I'm gonna try to explain way better than I could, but I'm gonna try anyway. But I want to give them props because that's how I see it too. Like, I think the Elder Disciple is a great addition to this map, and I feel like for players like me, or like, you know, people who are like more into it, you know, the more hardcore players, right? It feels rewarding to like beat this guy, and it feels like rewarding to like manage the spawns of like the boss spam finally, because the problem with modern zombies in my opinion is the amount of boss spam, and there's really no way to like counteract it or like fight against it. The game is just designed to throw as many boss zombies in your face. You can manage Shattervale in a way where it's like classic zombies, and this is where I love it, because I want that classic zombies feeling where like I'm just facing the zombies. It's very skillful in the way, because like if you're not prepared for the Elder Disciple, you will not take him out easily. You just won't. And if you can't take him out quickly, well then that's when the game turns into your typical modern zombies game where like boss spam is in your fucking face. And I really want more of this in the future where like I am able to control the spawn rate. And it's been a while since we just had, you know, standard zombies. Thumbs up in that regard. The other enemy in this game is the toxic zombies, and I feel like this is a new enemy, but at the same time, I don't know. I can't really put my finger on it. It just feels like it's a yellow Broomshire.
Yeah, I'd scream too if I looked like you.
That's just the way I see it, but at the same time, I can't hate on it too much, because this is probably the most challenging special round we have gotten since maybe, God knows, since the dog rounds in World at War. I feel like a lot of the special rounds have like been very formalic. They only allow 2 enemies at once, and then you kill them easily, and then another 2 spawn in. But the difference with the toxic zombies in this game is a bunch of them come in. If they die near you, you feel it. So like if you get swarmed, you will die. And it's easy to get swarmed by these motherfuckers. I just wish they looked different. I don't know. I wish they looked different, and I wish they picked a different color than yellow, because I feel like the special rounds in this game has just been that yellow fart cloud on your screen the whole game. I guess you could say they're new in a way. They probably are. I'm probably just tripping. I don't know, they feel like yellow Boomshires to me, but all in all, I appreciate the challenge of these guys. Reheated wonder weapons. I touched on this earlier in the video, but the Raygun Mark II has returned for the first time since 2019. It feels like we go a 6-year gap without seeing the Raygun Mark II. So we probably won't see the Raygun Mark II until 2028 or 2029. And then the Raygun Mark II, being the wonder weapon of the map with its variants, is a reheated idea, which I didn't consider the Raygun Mark II variants to be original with an Alpha Omega. I thought it was kind of lame back then too. I still kind of feel that way now. I don't hate it that much now, because at least it's on a brand new map. Alpha Omega was just full on like a reheated map idea with reheated wonder weapons. So at least we got a brand new map, so I can't hate on it too much. But you know, the Raygun Mark II is in here. It's great to have, don't get me wrong. I love the Mark II. I wish it was the standard ray gun. I think it's the superior version. I wish that was it. I wish that was the standard. I don't see why not. The purple ray gun is fun to use. It's the shotgun ray gun. I like that one. It's purple. I do love the big wiener worm that you saw in Modern Warfare Zombies, and it's purple. Yeah, woo. The blue ray gun is very nice to use. I think it feels really good to use. It's blue and it's a machine gun, so you can't go wrong with that. Except the quest quest to getting that one is the fucking worst because I hate the abomination step to get the blue ray gun. Yellow ray gun is shit, so I don't like it. Doesn't really feel that good to use, and it's probably the one I use the least out of all of them. Probably objectively it's not bad, probably isn't. I just don't like the sniper ray gun bullshit kind of thing. It doesn't really move me. Maybe it's a skill issue on me, who knows? It probably is. I don't really give a fuck. But you know, it doesn't move me, not moved. The other reheated idea we see again is the Wunderwaffe DG2. I feel like this being brought back in Modern Warfare Zombies and Vanguard ruined any potential hype for me to see it in Black Ops 6, and I feel like if you did not return this gun twice, 2 years in a row, I would have been super hyped about it in Black Ops 6. But that being said, it is the Unk Wonder Weapon. It is the OG. The quest to getting it is pretty fucking fun. I like it. It's simple. It ain't too bad. You know, you got to upgrade one of your ray guns and do an Easter egg step before you can get it. So it takes a process to get it. It took me to round 100. So it's still the Unk. It's still the OG. It's still the old reliable. You know, it's great. But I just wish they held off on this return from the previous 2 games because I would have been super hyped about it. It is what it is. The DG2 is in this game. You know, it's fine. It's fine. So for the first time in Black Ops 6, we got our first trap miss. These traps are fucking terrible on this map. Not only are they visually boring, like who would have thought a Guardian from Black Ops 2 would have been exciting, and then the other traps are reheated nachos from Liberty Falls because we have the fucking big machines in the spawn and the underground. The traps in this game have impressed me, from Terminus to Citadel to the Tomb, and now we just get these boring traps. And at least the Liberty Falls traps and the spawn in the underground, they're in decent, convenient places to where they work. But I feel like the Guardian traps inside the mansion are just so inconveniently placed that you're doing more harm to yourself than you are to the zombies. I don't know how to explain it, but like the way they are placed it's just not ideal, and it just doesn't make it worth using. Like, I just don't see any reason to run a train in the mansion and then click on a trap, because then you have zombies immediately spawn behind you, which just makes the whole thing inconvenient and stupid. Maybe if rebuildable barriers were in the map, it would have been better, but the traps inside the mansion just aren't worth it in my opinion, and they're just boring. So it's disappointing because I feel like Black Ops 6 was like on a good streak of like interesting and visually looking awesome traps, and now we get these fucking boring pieces of shit. The Easter egg quest is probably, I would say, the most in-depth quest, maybe since Terminus, but the problem with the Easter egg quest, you know, the same reheated idea of like just getting the Wonder Weapon, upgrading your Wonder Weapon, and then maybe you got a step or two after, and then boom, boss fight. But you know, the quest in this map feels decently long because of the 3 rituals you gotta do. I don't hate on it too much. It's just the structure and the concept of these quests nowadays just follow the same path. There's really nothing like too much that break away from that. At least the quest does involve unlocking a lot of secret rooms and puzzles. So, you know, I do enjoy that aspect. I just wish the overall structure wasn't just about getting the Wonder Weapon. But the fresh part of the quest is the boss fight. We fight a goddamn T-Rex in this map, and that is fucking amazing. I was blown away by doing this boss fight, especially with Rick Toffman helping you out by throwing you ammo and armor plates and assisting overall by shooting at the dinosaur too. And that's fucking amazing. See, that's fresh. I love that. That is so unique to me. I'm gonna remember that for a very long time. Black Ops 6 as a whole has not disappointed with boss fight zombies. Though the Easter Easter egg reward is the Pentagon Thief. And the Pentagon Thief is one of my favorite enemies in COD Zombies. So the fact that we got this reward is fucking phenomenal. And trust me, that Pentagon Thief gets these strokes all the time.
System monitoring.
And for the first time in 10 years, Double Tap has returned.
I don't even want to know what's in there. Brain's already spinning.
And this is another reheated idea. And I alluded to this earlier, but Double Tap gets a pass. It's been a decade since we last seen Double Tap, so in a way it does feel fresh, and I can't hate on it too much because, you know, it is Double Tap, and for some reason they kept this away in the storage for a long time. I don't know why. It's the OG4. I don't know how you hide this away for so fucking long. And I wanted to make a point that this is Double Tap 1.0, and I feel like Double Tap 1.0 works so much better in modern zombies than it ever did in World at War and Black Ops 1. And people will fight me on this. There is Double Tap 1.0 defenders for World at War and Black Ops 1, because when you say it's the worst perk of those games, they look at you and go, yeah, you just missed your bullets. And I'm sorry, but that's not the reason why it's bad. The reason why Double Tap 1.0 just did not work in games like Black Ops 1 or World at War was because of the guns. They had no ammo. None of the guns in those games had ammo. And that perk did fire your guns faster. You ran out of ammo faster. You could be 100% accurate, but that was an ammo killer back in the day. And look, I'm an unk of this community. I've been around since World at War. I hated this fucking perk back in the day. And a lot of people did agree with me back then. I'm not saying I spoke out and they agree with me, but that was the general sentiment back then. This perk was terrible back then because of that. You got to understand from that standpoint, max ammo was like the end all be all for the power-ups. There was no buying ammo besides your wall weapons. And ammo was so scarce because like all you got in your MP40 or your fucking commando was like 2 mags and a bag of chips. Yeah, that perk was terrible in those games. You cannot change my mind on that. It was terrible in those games. But in Black Ops 6, it's phenomenal. You know why? Because ammo isn't really a problem nowadays. In the long run, I think Shattered Veil will go down as one of the best zombies maps in the modern era. And the best part about Shattered Veil is that it's still strong. Despite this map being reheated nachos, it's still a very strong map and still the strongest map in Black Ops 6. You know, in reality, we need to get ready for more reheated nachos, and Call of Duty is an over 20-year-old series, and Zombies isn't that far off. And now Call of Duty Zombies is pretty much been approaching that since Cold War. It's been becoming ever more apparent as we grew from Cold War that they just introduce more nostalgia bait over and over and over. Bring back a fan favorite Wunderwaffe. They are hanging all the nostalgia shit in our faces like jiggling keys. I think we're now in a part where like it's becoming apparent that they are relying on a lot of nostalgia, and it's going to happen a lot in Black Ops 7, and I'm sure it's going to happen a lot in Black Ops 8 probably in 2028. And this is a yearly series. Call of Duty at the end of the day is just relying on member berries, nostalgia, and reheated ideas. There's a reason why they won't move on from Black Ops and Modern Warfare, and then there's a reason why they're reintroducing so many stuff from the original Ether. I mean, that's just what it is. I wish there was more creative ideas or fresh ideas in the series. I don't know why it can't happen. I don't know why it won't happen. There's so many ideas and fresh ideas they could do, and I wish they would do it, but every aspect of Call of Duty is just reheated nachos. And in some ways, I guess you could say that's okay. And as long as you set your expectations to that, I think you would probably think that's okay. Because I set my expectations to that because I don't expect Treyarch to light the world on fire no more. I don't know if it's the people they got there now. I don't know if it's the direction they want to go in, or if that's what Activision wants them to go in. I don't know. I fully expect Treyarch to just reheat the nachos. And you know, sitting down and having a bowl of reheated nachos isn't so bad. And you know, I don't expect a 5-star fresh 4-course meal from Call of Duty. I don't think you should either.